Hello everyone, this is me again, Sir Gary. Today we are going to learn about science again, right? Still about living things. So we're gonna move to the part C. What kinds of living things are there? You know, I know that you already got this book, so just open the page 19 and then yeah, let's learn it together. What kind of living things are there? So living thing is not the same things. I mean, there's a many classification of it. So for example, like look at this. Are all living things the same? No, it's not same. There's a different kind of living things. For example, like living things, there's a animals classification, plants, fungi, and then bacteria. You read this by it's not a fungi, but this is fungi. It's the pronunciation of each of this word is fungi or I, something like that. It's really just open your um, if you have dictionary, I mean electronic dictionary, you can write this word and then you can click the voice on it, so you can learn from how to pronounce it. It's a fungi. So we classify living things by grouping them based on common feature. So let's look at this animal. So living things, there are the classification, I mean the grouping of living things. There are animals, plants, fungi, bacteria. Let's move on then. Look at this. This is animals classification. I mean group. There's a bird. Human. Well, human is even if we call it human is different, but it's human still included in the animal classification because they are they are same. I mean have head, arm, legs, for example, like that. And then there's a bird. Fish, you know it already, right? Head, tail, fins. Anyway, animals can move from place to place by themselves. They move in different ways, such as crawling, for example, like worm, and then flying. What is fly? Animal that flying? Oh, bird. Hopping, grasshopper, belalang in Indonesian. Yeah, they hopping. Running, for example, like lion, yeah, running, or swimming. This fish swimming. Animal cannot make their own food, so they eat plants. They eat plants, animal or animals, or both atau kedua-keduanya. Or dipanggil karnivora, omnivora ya kalau bahasa Indonesianya. So it is omnivora if they eat plants and animals. So there's animals. Look at this one, bird, fish, and then human, and then what else? Cat. Yeah, it's include animal. So let's move on then. There's a plant. Yeah, plant classification. You already know about plants, right? Plants come in different shape and size. All of them have leaves. Yeah, leaves. Most of the leaves are green. Green, yeah, green. Stem, root. Stem is this one, and then root, and then flowering plants have flowers and fruit, while non-flowering plants do not. So this is a flowering plant that has fruit, and then this one doesn't has fruit. So yeah, it just for no fruit in it. So yeah, look at this one. Friends cannot move from place to place by themselves. Is there anyone here can have ever see plane that can move by itself? Of course no, right? So they can only move some part on their own. I know, Kantong Semar. Kantong Semar can move by itself, but it's very little. So we can call it move. Anyway, plants can make their own food by photosynthesis. You already learned about that, right? they using carbon monoxide and then nutrition from the soil, and then the sunlight, and then they make their own food by photosynthesis, of course. Let's move on then. Plant, and then there's a fungi. You know what? Fungi is like jamur. Jamur itu bukan tumbuhan ya. Bukan tumbuhan ya. Jamur itu beda. So, if you want to call something a plant, usually the leaves is green, but the fungi, jamur, is not green. Look at this. It's not rare to find the fungi or jamur, yeah, that is green. For example, like this. If you are in the forest, you can find the mushroom in it. It's called a fungi also. It usually in a rotten or dead tree. You can find this one. And if you have bread, bread, and then you just leave it without covering it with anything, then there will be a fungi also. Look at this. Oh, it's very not nice to eat, so be careful then. Anyway, there's a fungi that is called yeast, but you cannot see it with your bare eyes, so you have to use microscope on it. I mean, you know what? This is too small. You cannot see it with your naked eyes. Look at this, naked eyes. We need microscope to see them. You know what? The example of this I think is, kurap in Indonesia. Kurap itu jamur loh. Jadi yang kecil-kecil ini bisa jadi nempel di kulit kita, infeksi ya. Itu kurap yang gatal itu jamur loh. So be careful, children. You don't after you go bed. For example, like you have to dry your body, or this yes or fungi will infect your skin. It will be very itchy. Let's move on then. Yeah, fungi, and then there's a bacteria. Do you know bacteria? Bacteria are tiny living things. We cannot see it with our eyes, so it's too tiny, so we have to use microscope to see them. For example, like, you know what, bacteria can live in a cold stomach. Look at this. Wow, this bacteria. It's very weird, right? And then there's some bacteria in our skin also. And then there's a bacteria in the water in here. Look at this one. Long and thin bacteria in water. So I think there's so many bacteria in our environment, but we cannot see it with our own eyes, so we have to be careful. I mean, wash your hand and then eat healthy food, clean food. Don't eat dirty food, or just be clean. There's a good bacteria. Let's read this. Some bacteria are harmful and can make us sick. However, many bacteria are harmless. Some are even useful. You know what? There's a good bacteria that help you with, for example, like pencernaan or something like that. And then there's a bad bacteria that can make you sick, so you have to be careful. It's a tiny thing, we cannot see it with our own eyes, so yeah. So let's recap it again, or summarize it again. Living things, there are classification of living things or grouping of it. First, animal, for example, like cat, cats, and then dog, and then plants. How about plant? Apple tree. And then how about flower? Rose. Oh yeah, rose is plant also. Fungi is look like mushroom. Yes, mushroom. And then bacteria. There's a many kind of bacteria in the world. So yeah. So I think that's it for today. We already learned about classification of living things. So there is not just one living things. I mean, you call it a living things book, but there's a grouping of it. So they are different. Fungi is different from plant. It's not a tumbuhan, right, in Indonesian, because if you want to make it different, if you want to call something a plant, just look at the leaves. If the leaves are green, most of the plant is green. I have a green leaf. I mean, they are plant, but fungi, there's no green color in it. Usually, there's no green color in it. Usually, they will use different kind of color, but there's a very rare if you can find the green color of fungi. And then I think that's it for today. I'm Sergey and see you later then. I hope you learn new things about this lesson. I mean, I learn new thing in this lessons. And yeah, have a nice day then. See ya. Bye bye.